Have you ever felt her pull away and couldn't figure out why? Like she's still there, but she's not really. She's guarded, maybe closed off or on edge. She's short with you, but won't say what's actually wrong. She's doing everything herself, the planning, all the fixing, and directing like you're not even there. And every time you do try to step in, it just feels like something's off. It's not that she's mad. It's a deeper issue than that. She doesn't feel safe. And more importantly, she doesn't feel safe with you. And I know that's hard to hear, but if you can sit with it, really just sit with it, you might finally see the truth that no one ever taught us as men. Now, this is probably going to be my most controversial video yet. And I've really been contemplating not even bringing this topic to light and discussing it. I also feel that it really needs to be talked about. So, what I'm about to discuss is going to make you really look at yourself for who you are, how you act, and really how you show up in your life. So, here's the truth I want to drop on you: the feminine doesn't trust the masculine when it's inconsistent, unclear, reactive, or disconnected. Disconnected from its own power, right? So if she doesn't trust you, it's it's not because there's something wrong with her. It's because something in you isn't safe for her. And in this video, I'm going to uncover three things every man must do to fix that before it's too late. Hey man, I'm Kyle. I'm a master NLP practitioner and a master success coach for men who are done performing and ready to start leading. And today, we're going to talk about something that's really at the root of why so many relationships are failing and falling apart emotionally, sexually, and even spiritually. So, this isn't going to be about dating tips. This isn't tactics to get her attention. This is about energy, about polarity. And what really happens when the masculine forgets who he is or really doesn't even know who he is to begin with. So, let's break this down, right? So, in every relationship there are two energies, the masculine and the feminine. We all have both energies within us, but in an intimate environment, there's usually a dominant polarity. The masculine brings presence, direction, stability, and penetrating clarity, right? The feminine, she brings feeling, creativity, flow, movement, and expression. Now, when these two polarities are balanced, that's what we all call chemistry. So, like attraction and trust. But when the masculine stops leading, the feminine will start compensating. So here's what that looks like. You say you're going to do something and you don't follow through. You collapse when she gets emotional. Maybe maybe you ask her to decide everything for the both of you. You might second guess yourself, avoid the hard conversations, or maybe you get quiet when things get tense. Now, she feels that, right? She will feel everything that you're not saying more than what you are saying. She's going to read into your tone, your body language, even how you use your inflection. And when she doesn't feel your structure, she becomes the structure. When she doesn't feel your direction, she becomes the direction. When she doesn't feel your leadership, she will become the leader, not It's not because she wants to, it's because she really has to. Because in the absence of grounded masculine presence, the feminine will go into survival. And and really when she goes into that survival, she'll get hard, cold, critical, um, closed off, right? She'll get independent to the point of exhaustion. And then you'll start wondering, why won't she let me in? Why why doesn't she trust me? Why does it, why does it always feel like she's testing me? Because she is. She's testing the structure. She's checking to see if the masculine is home, not the man who performs, not not the man who's just nice, not the man that's hoping for approval, but the man who leads, the man who knows who he is, the man who can feel her fire and not get burned by it, right? The man who doesn't get defensive when she expresses emotion, but really expands into his presence to hold her instead. So let me say this clearly to you, brother. The feminine does not trust the masculine when it's afraid of its own power. Because let me tell you, if you're afraid to stand firm, if if you're afraid to set the direction and afraid to fully be seen, she will lead. And when the feminine leads long enough, she burns out. And she starts to resent the man she's been carrying, which is you. This is what kills relationships. This this polarity imbalance. It's not just about a lack of communication or a lack of compatibility. Really, it's a polarity collapse. The feminine is not meant to hold the masculine's weight. She's not meant to guide your life while trying to relax into her own expression. She will though, if she has to. But, I want you to know this. It will cost her everything. Her softness, her trust, her desire, and her safety, right? Her femininity as a whole. So, so what can you do, as a man? So let's talk about how you can reclaim the trust that she's lost in you. So the first one I want to talk about is you really need to become consistent in your energy. Okay? So I want to make that clear. The feminine doesn't need you to be perfect. We've already talked about that. Perfection does not exist, right? She needs you to be predictable in your presence. So most men underestimate how much the feminine relies on the masculine for energetic safety, not not financial safety, not physical safety. Although physical safety is an important piece, I'm talking about energetic safety. So if you have never heard that before, this is what it means, right? It means whenever her emotions get chaotic, which they will, right? Can you still remain present? Not silent, but still in present. Um, can you stay emotionally available without getting swept up in the storm that she's feeling? See, the feminine is built to feel deeply. That's really their gift. She processes the world through emotion, but if every time she expresses that emotion, you react or you get defensive or shut down, she learns very quickly, I can't let go around this man. I have to protect myself from his inconsistency. Now, she doesn't say this out loud, right? It's energetic. Her nervous system senses it. Her body will respond to it before her words ever do. So what happens is she puts her walls back up. She stops opening up. She starts trying to control everything because deep down, she doesn't trust you to hold space for her. And and now you're frustrated because she won't let you in, right? But man, you never gave her a reason to. So we have a saying. Oh, it's just funny. We have a saying in our house that obviously I find funny. She finds it humorous too, but it's really a way of letting the other person know what you need from them. But it's in a light and humorous way, so it kind of breaks the tension and starts to get the negative energy off the subject. So whenever she wants to talk about something that's bothering her, she will tell me if she is looking for feedback or just wanting me to chew popcorn. So it makes me think of the meme that I've seen, go around of Michael Jackson sitting in a theater eating popcorn, right? So that's what we're referring to. Okay. So now this does two things. One, it lets me know clearly and directly what she is needing from me in the conversation, right? And two, she knows that she is safe to speak to me because she has asked me to either hold space and just let her run it, or she is looking to get feedback and guidance from me, a man she trusts. So, that simple act of respect that she gave me by communicating clearly, of what her needs were, I return that back and I give her what she is needing in that moment for her to feel safe and vulnerable with me. Now, there has been occasions where she has forgot to let me know what she's needing, right? And I may stop her before she gets too far into it and just ask for clarity, right? So I'll ask her, "Do you want feedback or am I just chewing popcorn?" Now, I know this might be hard to understand because we as men are wired to fix things, to problem solve, right? It's in our nature. It's really how we're built. And you have to learn that sometimes she doesn't want you to fix it. She doesn't want you to solve her problem. She just wants to vent and get it out and to do that in a place and with a person that she feels safe with and she knows will hold space for her. So here's the standard I want you to remember, right? When when she brings the fire, you have to stay cool. When she brings the flood, you need to remain anchored. When she tests you, don't collapse, flinch, or run. Remain present and without judgment. That's what masculine containment is. It doesn't mean you don't feel. It means your emotional reactivity doesn't control you. That's that's consistency. And consistency builds trust for you in her. Now, like I said, she's not always looking for you to fix or solve her problem. Sometimes she's just looking for you to chew popcorn, right? She's looking to see if you'll fold when she feels deeply. Because if you fold under her emotion, she has to lead herself. And and the moment that she has to lead herself, she really stops trusting you to lead her. So the second one is to lead without apologizing for it. So if you're not leading, she is. And that's not because she wants to be in control. It's because someone has to be. So one of the greatest forms of energetic abandonment in a relationship is really a man who is passive, a man who avoids decisions, who asks what she wants consistently, not out of not out of care, but out of fear of choosing wrong, right? A man who defers everything to her then gets resentful when she doesn't feel feminine anymore. Man, you cannot lead from uncertainty. You can't build polarity from passiveness. And you can't create attraction from asking her to map the vision you were built to hold. Now, now don't get what I'm saying twisted. Okay? Leadership isn't control. It's not manipulation, it's not force. Leadership is clarity. Like, this is where I'm going. This is how I move. These are my standards. And guess what? When you move with clarity, the feminine can finally relax. Because now she can feel that you're driving the car. Even even if she doesn't agree with the exact destination, she trusts the fact that you're not lost. She trusts the man who's decisive, who doesn't flinch when she questions him, who isn't looking at her like, please tell me what to do. Hey, just a brief interruption from your video to tell you about an exceptional opportunity. You keep saying that you're ready to change, but let me ask you, what's actually changing? Because reading more books and setting more goals doesn't mean anything when your core identity is stuck in the same cycle. The real reason you can't move forward isn't because of lack of discipline or motivation. It's the loop that you're in. It's the beliefs that run your decisions before you even realize it. That's why I created the foundation, a free masterclass that shows you how to break that loop. I identify exactly how the loop operates, and it's broken down in a way that you probably have never heard of before. I also explain how to rewire your loop for success. This is not a lecture, it's not theory. It's the start of you finally understanding why you feel stuck and what you can do about it. Inside, you'll learn how to spot the thoughts that sabotage you, shift the identity underneath your patterns, and anchor new beliefs that actually support who you're becoming. You've tried forcing change. Now it's time to naturally become the change. Link is in the description for this absolutely free download of the foundation. Let's start your shift today. And now, back to our video. So let me give you something practical. Next time you're with your partner and it's time to make a plan, don't ask her what she wants to do. You make the call, you initiate, you set the tone, and then invite her into that container that you built. So, like, this is really easy to do, right? It's not difficult, it's super easy. Just plan a night out or maybe a date night in, right? It doesn't have to be grand or expensive. Just the fact that you plan something for her is enough. Trust me. Let her know when to be ready and maybe drop a hint to her of what you would like for her to wear. Make sure it's appropriate attire for the occasion though, like use your head. Okay? But watch how she responds to you when you tell her that you made plans. This is what time she needs to be ready. And that outfit that she looks so good in, you know which one I'm talking about. That's what you would like to see her in. I promise you. I promise you. From the moment you tell her about this, she will be looking forward to it and she will be planning out herself and how she's going to look for you and how much she loves your leadership. If you lead from grounded confidence in yourself, from that grounded energy, she will naturally submit to you and she will trust you. And like I said, it doesn't have to be like a big or expensive outing. It can be a simple thing. So there's been times that I have just made her favorite meal. And I told her that I was making her something special, for her earlier on in the day. Now, I didn't tell her what I was making, but I did tell her I was making a plan for her. That's all she wants. She just wants to be guided and led by a man who is certain. If if she wants to adjust it, that's her choice. But you're the one setting the rhythm. That's what the masculine does. It initiates, and it doesn't wait for permission to move. And if you are afraid to lead because you don't want to be seen as too much or too aggressive, just understand this. The absence of grounded masculine leadership doesn't create peace. It creates confusion. And the feminine doesn't relax into confusion. She tenses. She'll take over. She builds resentment. If she's leading all the time, you're not making her life easier. You're making her tired. Which brings us to our last one, right? So the last one is going to be reclaim your grounded masculine energy. Okay. So you don't reclaim polarity by becoming louder, more dominant, or, even more successful. You reclaim polarity by becoming rooted in who you are. Now, this is not about ego. This is not about showing her who's boss. It's not about becoming the alpha. This is about the kind of masculine embodiment that doesn't have to announce itself because it's already felt. Grounded masculine energy is silent power, it's stillness, it's restraint, it's depth, it's it's clarity without force, right? So when you're grounded, you don't react. You don't justify yourself. You don't collapse under pressure or inflate under praise. You remain. And that's why true masculine energy is magnetic because it doesn't seek permission to exist. The reason so many women are living in masculine energy today isn't because they want to. It's because they don't trust that the masculine around them is strong enough to hold them. They're tired of being the container. They're exhausted from doing it all. And they're starving for a man who can hold space for their softness without needing to fix or flee from it, right? So we need to do better, man. We really do. Because here's the key. You can't hold her until you've learned how to hold yourself. When you're grounded in your emotions, when your nervous system is regulated, when you know who you are and you stop outsourcing your power to her reactions, that's when she begins to soften. Not not because you told her to, but because you became safe again. Her feminine opens in response to your energetic certainty. Her sensuality deepens in response to your grounded masculinity. And she begins to trust you again, not because of what you say, but because her body feels your truth. So this isn't about doing more. This is about becoming still, becoming more solid, more integrated. Because when you become the structure again, she becomes the softness. And that's the beginning of a relationship built on polarity and not performance. So if the feminine in your life doesn't trust you, don't don't try to fix her. Fix yourself. Fix your presence. Fix your inner foundation. Fix your alignment because she's not looking for a man to be perfect. She's looking for a solid one, a man who won't collapse when she brings emotion, a man who isn't afraid to lead, a man who lives in his truth and not in performance. That's the man that she can trust. That's the man that she can soften with. That's the man that she can love without armor. So become him, not for her, but for you. And when you do, she'll feel it. And everything really changes from there. So if this landed with you, give me a thumbs up and share with a fellow brother that might need to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever I release a new video. I also have free resources below that will help you start rebuilding from the inside out. Tools that actually work, built for men just like you. So hit subscribe for yourself, grab the tools, and reach out. Give me a follow too on social media. Links are in the description. Remember, you're not broken, you're becoming. I'll see you on the next video. Stay strong, brother.